one for so long.
It's your baby though, so
I know.
she's done after this one.
All right, thanks for coming today, guys. Good to have you. We're gonna do some work on the bottom of the foot to start with. So I've got some racket balls, and these are kind of nice because there's two, so you can kind of go in between. You really need to get a little deep. There's a there's a golf ball. So pick your poison, and we'll work on this a little bit.
I like the other one. I like the double one for the forearm because I tend to.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
And
You
these
gonna go with
are,
your golf ball?
these are,
I was thinking about it.
these are good to freeze still.
Yeah.
If you have a sore foot, freeze it.
Really?
Yeah. I'll go with the softball. I also have a tennis ball too.
Okay, yeah, she's got all the toys already.
I know.
All right, so friends at home who want to participate, just any sort of a ball. So I've got a racket ball here, or use a tennis ball, and we'll stand and just start to rub it onto the bottom of the foot. Gently make some circles. And after you've made circles for a little while, you're starting to feel things ease up. If you have a lot of tension on the bottom of the foot, if there's a point that feels really tight, press into that for a few seconds, just gently, and hold it there. And that's going to get you the best release. You can switch to a different type of ball. I'm just trying to let that fascia on the bottom of the foot warm up and separate a little bit. When it gets thick and bunchy, it can make things very stiff. That's what a lot of times, like in our shoulders, other places of the body, if we're feeling tight, it's probably not the joint. It's probably not always the muscle keeping our fascia that's kind of bunched up. We'll switch to the other foot.
Go get raw.
What's that?
Go get raw. I don't think we have any in there anymore.
Take another minute here. Let's try to let this loosen up as much as we can. Doing some circles or going back and forth is nice too. Just try not to press on the bone too much. So the ball of the foot is kind of fine, middle of the foot, even toward the heel, but not digging into the bone. When we're feeling good and loosened up, we can come down and take a seat. Let's bring our ball with us. And we should have a strap nearby as well. We're gonna do some shoulder work with strap. Sit nice and tall across the legs or bring them out, open lotus. And then we can, just on the floor or wherever, do some circles with the hand. Start to release that area a little bit, just like we did with the foot. And then again, finding a spot that might be tight. For me, it's kind of into my thumb, probably from using a mouse.
Beating on the computer.
Meeting on the computer, yeah, typing, hitting the space bar or whatever. It's a good release there too. Yeah, you can. Yeah, pressing against the floor is a little bit more firm, so you can get into a little deeper, but yeah, you can certainly do it between the hands if you want to. And then switch hands when you're ready. Take your time and get into those little areas. Might need some help, explore a little bit. All right, when we feel like we're good and ready, we can put that ball off to the side and we'll take up our strap. We don't have a strap at home, a towel could do. We're going to take it in both hands. And we're just going to do some lifting stretches. So sit nice and tall, about shoulder width apart, maybe a little narrower with our grip. And then inhale, lift up. Open the chest a little. Exhale, press down, use a little tension. Also some tension on the strap to make it nice and tight. So pulling outward with the hands. Take this a few times. In that shoulder mobility, just gently. Two more times like this, slow. And then lifting, and we're just going to go side to side. And you can add a little tension by pulling to open that side body a bit. Getting right under the arm, into the shoulder blade a little. Work on reaching up as high as we can. If you're noticing any restrictions there or any pain, just be gentle.
Wait a minute, I'm an old person. It's always me.
And then taking a wider grip, let's take one arm and bring it down to the mat. The other hand is going to come up and over. We can have a little tension here. If we want to shorten up and just pull gently, we can. So this is more to the side. If we want to come all the way down, if we have the flexibility to do that, or if it feels good, we can just drop the strap behind our back and grab with the other hand. The idea also is to bring that shoulder way up. Sorry, bring that elbow way up.
Yeah, but I'm not dancing.
That's okay. And release. Let's go to the other side with that. So taking one hand down to the mat, reaching up and over with the other. And then our option for coming behind. Yeah, and that's what the strap is for. I mean, not everybody's hands, certainly not mine, are going to meet. So that's why we use tools like this. Sit nice and tall. Draw the crown of the head up. Reach down, try to release the shoulder, both sides. And exhale, release. Let's come back to the front. We're going to take a narrower grip, so just a couple inches wide, and then we're going to pull off to one side. Try to get deep into that shoulder. If you need to cinch up a little bit more, you can. So we're feeling that in the outside of that opposite shoulder. Exhale, come to center, other side. Really try to breathe into the shoulder blade here. Feel that area expand a little bit. Nice. Exhale, come back to center. Wide grip once more. We're going to lift, big inhale. Exhale, we'll go off to the side this time. So to the diagonal, or you can go a little further if you like. That feels good. We're just working on a gentle twist here. Good posture with this. We want to turn and then come down. Doing both at the same time. Make it easier on the back. One more time each side. Take your time. All right, our last movement here, when we're ready, let's take it behind the back. Narrow grip, so maybe 6 to 8 inches apart, and then start to lift. Open the chest a little bit, maybe look up slightly, and then option to fold forward any amount, keeping the arms lifted. Try not to break posture too much here. So reaching forward, not reaching down with the head. One more breath. Exhale, let's release and come back up. Nice job. Let's take our legs straight now. And we can keep our strap with us. Sit nice and tall, our staff pose. We can always pad under the knees if we need. Look at our music. There, okay.
Quiet moment.
Right. All right, so any padding we need under the knees. Let's just sit tall here for a moment, hands down at the sides or in the lap. Feeling that opposition between the crown of the head and our connection to the mat here. You don't got a lot. Draw the breath all the way down to the lower belly. Two more breaths like this. Nice. We're going to take an assisted fold with our strap. So let's take it to the bottom of our feet. And then coming forward, and we can reach down into the strap as much as we need. And then start folding forward. Same idea as before. So trying to keep a little bit of posture here. On our inhale, straightening the back, and exhale, reaching forward. If it's easier or better to grab onto the feet, that's fine too, rather than the strap. One more breath. Big inhale, big exhale. All right, and then keeping our strap underneath our feet. Here we're going to sit up a little taller, and we're going to do some assisted movements into the core. So we're going to hold here nice and tight, and then tip back, and then trying to use some of our core here to pull us back up. And then arm strength as well, just a little arm strength, just only as much as we need. So then moving to that kind of forward position a little bit. So shoulders are going to be back behind the hips, and then they come in front of the hips. Doesn't have to be super hard. Again, just using the arms for support. Most of this is into the core. We would like to go a little deeper. We can leave the strap at the side, and then just keep the hands at the sides or reach forward and back and hold them up. Starting to feel this warm into the hips. One more time like this. Breathe. Exhale, come back. If we've got the strap, we can put it down. And then taking the hands behind, underneath the shoulders, and coming to sunbather pose. Breathing into the heart space here. Little bend to the elbows. Drop the shoulders back. I like the term sunbather pose because this gives us the idea of accepting energy, feeling bathed in it. It's a good, really good pose for that. On an exhale, coming forward, then back to our forward fold, either assisted or unassisted. So grabbing onto the feet or the strap. Reach forward with the crown of the head. And then let's exhale. We're going to make this a lot more passive. So now we can kind of droop down, letting the chin come toward the chest, shoulders can slump. This is uncomfortable for the neck. We can have the hands under the chin like this and hold the head. Two more breaths. Really allow the back to round. Head draws toward the earth. Nice. Using core strength, let's slowly lift up. We're going to take one foot to the mat, and we'll take a twist from here. So hugging one foot in, the other leg is out straight still. And we'll just take this for a few seconds, pulling in, holding toward our body. And then taking the opposite hand and drawing gently toward the shoulder. So that knee is coming toward the opposite shoulder. And then release. We'll go into our twist. We're going to take our left hand, place it behind us, and then moving our right elbow to the outside of the right knee, if that's accessible. Otherwise, just wrapping that hand in front of the left knee. And turning. If this isn't quite getting it for us, we can take our foot and hop it over our leg, then take that same stance just a little deeper. Same posture, I mean. Nice. Perhaps looking over that shoulder, still maintaining that good posture here. And exhale, coming back towards center. Let's release that leg. We'll go to the other side. Hug the knee in close first. Feel that into the glute. Just opening up gently. And then taking the knee toward the opposite shoulder. Just a little tug. Nice. Let's release. We'll take that foot over if we like that, or just having foot next to the other leg. Wrapping the opposite hand over the knee. Lift up the other hand and behind, close to the lower back. And looking over that shoulder, good posture. Exhale, slowly release. Let's come back towards center. We're going to fold the opposite leg in, so the foot is coming toward the leg, the knee is coming out to the side. And we're going to take our strap and put it underneath that opposite foot. Sit tall and just a gentle pull here. So we're trying to get into the calf first. So really relax and let that open through the lower leg. And now just holding with some gentle pressure, we're going to use our foot strength to press down and then lift back up. So we got a little tension here on the strap, and the foot is moving back and forth. One more time. And then activating the foot, curling the toes back a little bit, we're going to lift. So it doesn't have to be super high. Maybe just a few inches off the mat. If we want to go a little deeper, we can come up to heron pose. So taking a little closer grip to the foot with the strap. If we feel comfortable with it, we can grab on, and if it's accessible, we can grab onto the foot and hold here, as long as we can maintain posture. Keep breathing. And slowly exhale. Bring that down. We'll switch sides. You can see better for our twist. So still with that right leg out. We're going to reach back with our left hand and go up and over. So this is a side opener. And then if accessible, we can reach onto and grab onto the toes, drawing back with that left shoulder. It's kind of an up and over. So this is revolved head to knee. Breathe into that side body. Exhale, release down. Nice. Let's go to the other side. We'll take that same movement with the strap. Tap here. So a little tension. Pull. Allow that calf to open gently. And then start pressing if you like. So foot comes down and up. Still a little bit of tension in the strap. Couple more times. Nice. And then moving to a little lift or heron pose if you like. So this lift doesn't have to be super high. It can be just a couple inches off the mat. Depends on your flexibility, if you've got any restrictions into the hip. Otherwise, lifting higher or grabbing on if that's accessible and comfortable for you. And slowly release down. And our last movement of this portion, we'll do that up and over. Left hand down onto the left leg, right shoulder reaches back, and then up and over with that hand. Keep drawing that right shoulder back. Grab onto the toes if they're accessible. One more breath. And exhale, sit tall. Nice job. Let's open the legs up wide. And then again, if the toes are accessible, we can grab on here. Good posture, otherwise hands at the legs or knees. And then moving this into a wide-legged fold, we can continue to hold on here, or we can reach forward, both hands. As we exhale, drawing the crown of the head forward. As we inhale, straighten the posture a little. Slowly start to come up, exhale. Let's draw the soles of the feet together for butterfly. We're just going to take some little movements here, not bouncing too much, just a little movement. See how that feels into the hips. And then letting the knees relax down as much as they can. Breathe into the low belly. Two more breaths here. Nice work. Let's release. We're going to come to hands and knees from here. Take your time, remember to stack the joints. Spread the fingers out wide. Let's start by taking some movement side to side with the hips. And then a little back and forth. So drawing back and then coming forward, shoulders maybe come over the fingertips. And then back to our tabletop, making sure our spine is somewhat neutral. And we're going to let the head droop here, just like before, taking a little bit more relaxed pose. So the shoulder blades are still knitting together. There's a little strength holding up on the arms, but the head and neck just kind of drop and release. So you can use as much strength as you need to hold it up so it's not painful. If that's not working out for you and you don't get that full relaxation, you can bring the crown of the head to the mat or the forehead. Just keep the arms lifted a little bit. One more breath. Then let's move through cat-cow. Let's look up a little. Let the belly drop, inhale. Exhale, press around. Really pushing into the mat, reaching with the mid back, and then through to our cow pose. Try to match your breath with the movement. Couple more times. And back to neutral. Let's take some movement with the shoulders. So let's take the right hand, we're going to place it on the back of the neck. The elbow is going to be straight out to the side. On an inhale, we're going to lift up and make most of this movement through the shoulder and the upper back, and not so much in through the hips. So we're not really moving the hips and into the lower back as much. Lift, and then exhale, that elbow is going to come down toward the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Take this a few more times. Really try to open the chest on that upward movement. Let that elbow hang on the downward movement. Keep going. One more time. And exhale, release that hand. Let's take it now to the lower back. So same idea here, but the hand is just going to be in a different position. So opening that shoulder up and then relaxing down. So maybe as we lift, we can look over that shoulder a little bit. It's not necessary though. It feels better to have the neck straight on with the shoulders. It's up to you. This is really good for counteracting punching posture. Get some strength into the shoulder blade. Exhale, release down. Nice job. Let's go to the other side. With the left hand to the back of the neck. And then start to lift the elbow and then release. Work through this at your pace. So again, try to minimize the movement through the hips. Just working into the shoulder, upper back, mid back here. One more time. And exhale, bring that hand down. Let's go to the lower back on this side. And then start your movement when you're ready. Couple more times here. And exhale, release down. Let's take the hands a little bit forward, elbows down to the mat. We're coming to puppy stretch. The hips stay high, but they shift back. We're trying to draw the back fairly straight, so we're not letting the low back dip down. Feel that opposition between the hips and the elbows, maybe the fingertips. If we want a little bit more of a tricep stretch, we can bring our hands together in prayer and then bend our elbows so our hands are kind of at the back of the neck, like a little shark fin. Keep sinking back. Long, slow breaths. Two more breaths here. And then on an exhale, let's place the hands back down if they were lifted. And we'll shift back to child's pose, widen the knees as much as we need to make this comfortable. Forehead can come to the mat or stack the hands underneath. We can reach forward a little bit more with the hands, walk them forward. Maybe come up to the fingertips and lift the elbows. We need more stretch. Or if this is a little bit too much into the shoulders, just bringing the hands to the sides. Let's use our breath here too. As we exhale, the hips are dropping down. As we inhale, we feel the shoulder blades expand, separate a little bit. Two more breaths. Let's slowly lift up, coming back to our tabletop, shifting a little further forward, coming to a kneeling plank. And then slowly forward, shoulders over fingertips and down, exhale. Let's work through a half series, so half of a sun salutation. Lifting up slowly, shift back, coming to our child's pose. Inhale, come forward, kneeling plank. Shoulders over fingertips for a modified chaturanga or crocodile pose. Shift back, exhale. If you want this to be a little more energetic, we can come to a full plank. Then shift forward and down, slow. And then back up, the knees down, coming to child's. We want to come to downward facing dog, we may. Just be gentle with yourself. Let's do this two more times. And we're going to meet in downward facing dog, option for puppy stretch, as we did before. Take your time to ease into down dog. Take a little movement, lift the heels, press back. Good breathing. One more breath here. And then shifting forward, coming to plank or kneeling plank. We'll hold for 2 breaths. And then shift forward, coming to chaturanga again. Exhale all the way down. Then we'll come to cobra. Straighten the arms just a little. Lift with the crown of the head. And exhale down. We'll take that movement a few more times. Option to lift the hands up off the mat for baby cobra, using just back strength to lift. Or just a more gentle movement, pressing into the hands. It could be nice lower back. Could be a lot of compression here in this pose. And one more time. Exhale, release down. Let's reach forward. We can join the hands or just have them separated. Point the toes behind us. Forehead can be on the mat or the cheek be on the mat. Get a little deeper. Let's take a full body yawn. So we're just really inhaling deeply. Deepest inhale we've had all day, and then exhale, relax. One more time. Nice. Take the hands under the shoulders again, and lift up slowly, coming back to tabletop. And we're going to move through supported side plank to gate pose from here. So left knee is going to be down in the center of the mat, right hand down in the top middle. And I'm backwards. So left hand down, top middle. Right foot is flat at the bottom of the mat, and then reach up with the right arm. You can always pad the knee if we need to. It's good to kickstand that lower leg out to the side as well for balance. On an exhale, let's bring that right arm down to the side, using core strength, lift up to gate pose. So we're straightening the torso. Left hand comes up and over. Let's take this movement 2 more times. We'll move slow. Exhale down. Left hand comes to the mat. Reach with the right. On an exhale, drop that right hand down, up and over, gate pose. And release them. Last one, reach. And then lifting back up, we'll bring the knees together. We can sit back if this is more comfortable, or just come to seated. But we're going to open the chest a little bit. So our options for that, bringing the hands to the lower back. If kneeling isn't super great for us, we can certainly be in a seated position and have the hands behind. Or hold to the lower back. It's a little more tricky to do. Otherwise, about 3 more breaths here. Keep drawing the shoulders back. Elbows are coming back as well. Trying to reach each other. Exhale, straighten. Then we'll take the right hand down. We'll take that little flow on the other side. Supported side plank first. So straightening that left leg. Reach up with the left hand. And then using core strength, lift for gate pose. Left hand down to the leg, right hand up and over. Breathe. And exhale down. Lift. exhale down. Lift it back up through center. Exhale, release that right arm down. Knees come together. And we can sit back on our heels if this is comfortable. Otherwise, just come to regular seated. Sit nice and tall. And then exhale, we're going to bow forward. Hands can stay on the legs or reach forward. Crown of the head is going to come down to the mat. If we're in a cross-legged seated pose, just a regular forward fold. If we're in this kneeling position, option for rabbit pose. So we're going to take our toes and curl them under. And then keeping our head on the mat, we're going to work it a little bit closer. So the crown of the head is going to work a little closer to the knees. And then grabbing back onto the soles of the feet with both hands and providing a little pull here, feeling that really strongly between the shoulder blades. Make sure the neck is nice and neutral, not putting any undue pressure there. One more breath. And exhale, place the hands down. We'll lift back up and come back to seated. Take a drink of water if you like. Well, when we're ready, we're going to come to standing.
I'm sorry.
To standing. Take your time. We're going to work some energy exercises here. So feet about shoulder width apart, good posture. Bring the hands together in front of you like they're holding a ball, a few inches apart. Inhale, lift one arm. You can lift up off that heel on that side, and then we're going to pick the fruit. So this is called picking the fruit. And then come down. So we're just pinching our fingers a little bit. Inhale, lift. Pick the fruit, exhale. Try to make this really meditative. Make sure we're reaching up and not the side or the corner or in front of us. One more time each side. Exhale down. Take a little wider stance. We're going to go through some washing movements. Arms out to the sides, big inhale. Exhale, press down, use a little tension. Option to bend the knees a little more as we come down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Option here in these energy exercises to use Tai Chi breathing. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Or continue with our yogic breathing. Either will work. And then let's reverse. Scoop up energy, draw from the earth, press up and out, exhale. 2 more times. And back up to standing. Nice work. Take a little bit wider stance even. Nice and wide. Arms out to the sides. We're going to do bow and arrow. Exhale. Bring the palms together on one side. Draw the bowstring back. Inhale. Reach that arm all the way back. And then exhale. Bring the palms back together. Two more times on this side. Gazes over that thumb. And then we'll switch to the other side. Palms together, draw the bowstring back. Exhale. One more time. And then drop the arms down. Nice work. Next one is Fair Lady Works the Shuttle. I love all the colorful names. We're going to turn to the side, to the corner actually, not to the side. Bend the knee over the ankle. So we're in kind of a short warrior stance. So the side where our knee is out, we're going to lift that arm, kind of like we're blocking the sun. Fingers are to the side. The other hand is going to press underneath, straight out, like we're pushing against a wall. Inhale, we're going to come to the center so the feet turn naturally. And then turn to the other side. The opposite hand comes up like we're blocking the sun. Press with that underneath hand. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, press to the other side.
So you're preparing us for your Tai Chi class.
I am, yeah.
I think about that.
Yeah. Move slow, work for good alignment. Really try to draw that elbow up on the top hand. Yeah, so Chris is right. We'll be working a lot of these same movements in the Tai Chi workshop at the end of the month. It's on the 31st, I think. So if you like this kind of stuff. What's that?
Too far to commute, sorry. I'll be in another
One more time each side. And back to center, exhale, drop it down. All right, let's take some movement with the feet now. So balance, drawing the weight over one leg, lightening the other foot so it's just onto the toe. Then we're gonna make a big oval. So coming in and then back out with that toe, shifting the weight to the other side now. So it comes in, and then big circle out, and then shift. So making sure that our foot is doing the work out here while our balance is still over that root leg, and then shifting once the foot gets out to the side. Good. We're feeling confident in our balance, we can lift that leg a little higher. So over our root leg, we're going to sweep that other leg up and out, touch with the toe, and then shift to that side. One more time each side. And then back to center. Nice work. Still in our wide stance, we're going to take some lunge movements. So keeping our hands on our knee, we're going to lunge toward one side, a little deeper this time than before. Inhale, come towards center, turn the feet, and then exhale, come to the other side. Very similar to what we were doing with our Fair Lady Works the Shuttle. It's working deeper into that hip. Keeping the posture nice and tall here. And then one more time each side. Coming back to center, shake it out a little. And then let's come to the top of our mat. We're going to take some static poses. Let's step back with our right leg, come to a low lunge. Toes can be curled under or foot can be flat, either way. Whatever feels good. And then just allowing the hips to come forward a little bit. Good posture with the upper body. Not trying hard to force ourselves into a shape here. Just letting that knee come forward and the hip come down. Like it's open. On an exhale, let's shift the hips back. We're going to straighten the front leg and come to half splits. We can use blocks here to help stabilize us, if we like. This can be helpful. Yeah, patting that knee as well is a good idea, especially if it's sensitive. We're going to take some movements forward and back from here. So bring that foot down to the mat, shift forward, let's come back to our low lunge, and then bring the hips back, open that foot up once again, and then come forward. Not trying to push too far into a lot of range of motion here. Starting to feel how that hip is doing and into the glute as well. One more time. And back to our low lunge. We're going to take our hands to the inside. So this will be our lizard pose. You can stay on the fingertips or the hands here or a block. We're more flexible. We may be able to put our elbows down onto the block or onto the mat. Two more breaths here. We're going to take this to a twist. So we're going to take our right hand, make sure it's planted down in the mat, lift up a little bit, and then bring that left elbow to the left knee. And then just try to draw that left shoulder back a little bit. So that's the extent of our twist. Nice. Two more breaths here. And exhale, drop that hand back down. Let's take our left foot back, left leg back, bring the right leg up. Lizard pose on the other side. Keep breathing. And then option for our twist, bring that right elbow to the right knee. We need a little more of a twist, bringing the right hand to the right knee. Drop that shoulder back a little more. And exhale, release. Let's slowly come up, low lunge. As with the other side, let the hips come forward a little. Bring our blocks along with us. Some support. And then we'll move our blocks back about 6-8 inches. Open that front leg, forward half splits. Draw the hips back. Hold for a couple breaths. And then we'll flow this through. Shift the hips forward, drop that foot down, low lunge. And then back, half splits. Keep moving. One more time. And exhale, we're back in our low lunge. We can take our blocks off to the side. We won't need them for a bit. And then coming knees together to kneeling, hands down, hands and knees, and then come all the way down to the belly or Sphinx pose. Elbows under the shoulders. Pick your angle here. So if this is a little hard in the low back, causing too much compression, elbows can come forward to reduce the angle. Otherwise, it's nice passive opening into the front body. Hips are releasing down into the mat, connecting. We need to go a little bit deeper. We can come to seal pose. So lifting the elbows up off the mat and then moving the hands to the degree that we need to create the shape for our back. But only if that's necessary. This can be a little lunge. And if we're lifted, coming back down to Sphinx. Let's start some movement with our legs here. So we're going to lift one leg, bend the knee, and down. Other side. See how this feels into the hips. And take this movement one side and then the other. And then back to static. Really let the low back drop down. Draw the shoulders back. On an exhale, let's drop the left hand in front of us. And we're going to turn just a little bit with our shoulders. So my right shoulder is coming back. I'm going to bend my right knee and take my hand back behind me for half bow. So just drawing that heel toward the seat gently. I could take an inside grip if I want as well, if that feels a little better. And then to add a little more, we can kick that foot out into the hand and draw the shoulder back. Get a nice shoulder opening. So for this one, you can use a strap as well if you want to. So Chris, if that foot is not accessible, you can use a strap on that, or you can do what you're doing. Exhale. Just drop that foot down. And then we'll come to the other side. Right elbow comes down in front of us. And then bend That left knee grab on to the ankle or the foot, draw it toward us. And then if we want to go a little further, kicking that foot into the hand, drawing that shoulder back a little, nice stretch and twist here. Good. Maybe look over that shoulder if it feels okay. That doesn't cause the neck to pinch. And exhale, release. Nice work. All right, let's come all the way down to the mat. We're going to take a couple more movements here. We'll bring the hands down to the sides, and we're going to come to locust. Pick how strenuous we want this to be. Starting to lift the shoulders up off the mat and the feet. And we can stay here, this one's fine. Or bringing the hands up and starting to lift more of the chest up off the mat, the knees up off. Really squeezing into back and glutes. Drawing the hands back a little more. Feel that tension into the shoulders. And then exhale. Nice work. Let's bring the hands to the mat. We're going to lift back up toward tabletop. Take the legs around and come to seated. And then we'll scooch forward and come to lying toward back. Knees come into the chest. Take some movement side to side. Then we'll move to recline pigeon. Plant one foot down, excuse me. The other ankle is going to cross over the knee. And then this may be enough, or we can just grab behind that leg and pull toward us gently. Head and shoulders should be on the mat. If we want to try another version of this, we can bring the knees close together. So really sliding the legs in to each other. And then continuing that pull back. So that's going to have a lot different feeling. It's more into the low back and into the hip. So up to you what you need here, or you can try both. Option here to take that elbow and just press against that leg a little bit more. So we're opening more into the hip. So that knee is coming down a little. Only if that feels good or necessary. And exhale, release the grip on that leg. Foot's going to come down and then uncross. We'll go to the other side. Recline pigeon. So even without grabbing on, this may be enough for you if you draw that heel toward your seat a little bit, just to have it crossed over. If you do need that grab behind the leg, then go for it. With our exhale, we're working on trying to release that hip as much as we can. Knee is dropping down. Option as before to draw the knees together if we like that version. Or take the hand or the elbow to that knee and press it down a little bit, get more into the hip. About 3 more breaths here.
And slowly release. Let's come to our constructive rest, feet flat on the mat. And then again, take some windshield wipers, moving the knees back and forth. See how that feels with the low back. And then when we're ready, letting the knees fall over to one side for reclined twist. For some more stabilization, we can have our arms out to the sides and then maybe look the opposite direction. Bring that twist all the way through the neck. We need a little bit more of a twist here and some more internal rotation to that hip on the top. We can bring our ankle over on top of the knee. So similar to what we did before, just providing a little weight to that leg that's underneath. Nice. And slowly release up to the other side. Take your time. The knees fall over, and then take that little hook if you like it. And then maybe look the other direction. And exhale, release, come back towards center. Take some more movements with the knees back and forth. Arms either up overhead or at the sides. And back towards center with the knees. We'll take our last couple of movements. Really plant it down onto the mat with both feet. Plant the hands and the elbows down as well. We're going to come to bridge. When ready, start to lift the hips, squeeze into the glutes. But also think about the core for this one too. So the lower back and then in through the abs as well. Press the hands down, try to lift up a little higher. And then we'll take a little flow here. Exhale, hips come down slow. Lift, hold. Exhale down. Up 3 more times. Inhale, hold. 1 breath here. And then release. Keep moving. And on the last one, lift and hold. Option here to lift one leg and bring it straight. Or lift it up toward the ceiling, pressing with that heel, activating the foot. Keep breathing. Exhale, drop that foot down. If it's lifted, we'll go to the other side. Keep holding those hips high. And start to release. Nice job. Take the knees back and forth once more. And then our last pose is going to be happy baby. Reach in between the knees. Grab onto the lower leg or the outside of the foot. Draw the knees in toward the armpits. Open the legs wide. Maybe rock back and forth. Two more breaths. And exhale, release legs slowly. Let's come all the way down for Shavasana. So whatever version you like here, if you like the constructive rest version, like I'm in now, the feet flat on the mat, knees up. Or lying all the way down. Or if you want to try a butterfly version, you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out. So find what works for you. Use whatever tools and props you need to make yourself comfortable.
Start to slow the breath. Let's think back through our practice, thinking about how we did without creating harsh judgment on ourselves or any comparisons with others. Thinking about any areas that might still be tight or painful. Breathing into those regions, relaxing. Seeking out any remaining tension in the body. Thinking about any trouble spots like our jaw, our forehead. Maybe we're holding tension in the shoulders, the chest still. Sweeping through the body, finding any areas that require a little bit of help and breath. Now starting to engage our senses, letting energy draw into us and through us. Feeling the energy and light of the sun, even though we're inside. Feeling that gentle breeze come through the windows. Hearing the birds. Let's take about 5 more nice, deep, slow breaths here. Count them out and savor them. As before, still drawing the breath all the way down to the lower belly,
Feeling that area lift just gently, and then relaxing as we exhale. On the last breath, deep exhale, then start to move fingers maybe a little bit, toes. Start to get some energy back through the body. Deepen the breath. And then when we're ready, draw the knees toward the chest and turn to the side. Couple breaths here. And then slowly lift up into seated. Good posture. Feel that opposition again between the mat and the crown of the head. Draw the shoulders back and then just relax. Close our practice by chanting the sound of Om. Let's let go of the breath we have. Then big inhale and say Om. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Have a good day, friends online. We'll see you soon.